that whole queen and king thing really didn't. It's been around, but it really didn't go hard until like 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, where now everybody's calling themselves that. But a lot of it has to do with people, women and black men and women feeling like they're not special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do think there are a lot of people who don't feel good about themselves, and they need that sort of, extra.
Yeah. I don't need the extra, is the thing. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Someone sent us a video of a lady in the airport calling herself a black queen, and what we think about, I guess, the video, but just like the overall idea of people calling themselves kings and queens. A lot of black people are doing this. So I guess what do we think about that?
They think I got so much white privilege to tell people what to do, but you need to understand California is a black queen, and that's who I am. I will. I don't have a problem. She laughing is funny, but she need to understand and respect the queen when she see one in her face. Bow down, bitch, because your eyes is recessive.
I'm always weird with this. Yeah.
I don't like it because I feel like people think, like, the only reason black women are being called that and say that is because we feel so bad about ourselves.
Right.
It's like so no other race of people need to walk around and call themselves kings and queens.
Right.
Just the people that feel like victims.
I mean,
in the world, you know what I mean? Like, you don't ever hear white people call themselves that. The only white people call themselves king or queen are actual kings and queens. You know what I mean? You don't hear any Hispanic people walking around saying that, any Asian people walking around, just black people.
I actually saw a video. I cannot remember what it is. I swear I will search for it. But there was a podcast guy. He was a black man, and he had a panel, and there was a black woman on there. I don't really know who they were, but she was saying that she agreed with calling herself queen, and he made a good point, because then he was like, I'm sorry, that's not carrying yourself like a queen. Like, if you want to say that word, it's not really carrying yourself that way. So that's my big problem with it. Most of the people who are calling themselves kings and queens are not behaving what I guess the term is supposed to mean. It's supposed to what was the word? It's supposed to embody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the idea of being a queen, if we're going to use that in kind of like in like a temporary way, not just necessarily like in the monarch, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. The idea is that you're holding yourself at high standard, high regard. You're taking care of yourself. Your manners are on point. You know what I mean? You are, secure with who you are. When I think about the word queen, I think about and king. I think about all those words, right? I think that what's happened is a lot of people are calling themselves these names. The people who are doing it are not behaving in any way like that. You know?
I mean, it's also just, again, those terms really just turn me off.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I think they're corny, and when a man calls me a queen, I don't
get mad, but it's like,
I don't do cringy. Yeah, I don't really like it, because I hold myself to high standard. Yeah. I take care of myself. You know what I mean? But I still don't like it. I don't want to be called that. To me, the only requirement of being a king and queen is the way people use it is just simply be black. And I just think, like, okay, but
what else?
It's just a corny. It's just a whole corny thing. You know?
I don't know. Black people, we have this thing where we're always trying to, what's the word? Like, live this, I don't want to say fairy tale. I guess fairy tale kind of life.
I think the black Americans are actually kind of lost.
Yeah.
Because we were slaves and we came over here from, not all of us though. There were already black people here when we discovered America, or when discovered America was already here. You know what I mean? But most of us came, our ancestors came from Africa. But, you talk to Nigerians and people, they don't feel the need to do that because they know where they come from.
Yeah.
They know their language. They know all of that. So they don't feel any need to put a spin on it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of black people feel this need to feel special in a country that I guess they feel like we feel like, I don't mean to say that, I don't feel like that, but I guess that most black people feel like they're not really a part of.
Feel kind of ignored in their own country. Right. Now, I don't feel that way, but no. you're just saying that they put that extra like king queen thing on there because it's a way of, again, separating yourself, but it's a way of being different.
Right. Well,
and
because they're
special,
always
like you
saying
said,
that.
yeah.
We did a video not too long ago where a girl was like, we're the most disrespected women on earth
Yeah.
and all that. So
Right.
then here, that whole queen and king thing really didn't, it's been around, but it really didn't go hard until like, 5 years ago,
Yeah,
6 years ago, where now
yeah.
everybody's calling themselves that. But a lot of it has to do with people, women and black men and women feeling like they're not special.
Right.
And I feel special in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need a spin on my life. I don't need people to call me things I'm not just to feel like I'm something I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do think there are a lot of people who don't feel good about themselves and they need that sort of, extra.
Yeah. I don't need the extra, is the thing.
Right.
And so when someone calls me that, or, they go, what do they say? Like stuff like, fix your crown, or...
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, just it's
like
I
know it's not that deep. Like, I get that it's not meant to be. But like Kara was saying, I think it was just it's kind of corny to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because when people say that, I'm like, call me queen. It's I feel uncomfortable. If we get into their heads, the idea is that you're supposed to be carrying yourself with this high regard, right? If we just get into their heads. And so what I was saying in the beginning is that I feel like what I notice is that a lot of, we'll take women right now. Women are not behaving like these queens that they're trying to say that they are.
Yeah.
A lot of them are walking around here half naked, have mouth like a sailor. They're like it's supposed to be elegance. The idea with the black
class.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that, like elegant. And when I see people, it's like the people who are calling themselves that, self-proclaimed queens. It's like they're not behaving like that, and that's what always makes me laugh. So I'm like, yeah, but you're not behaving like that at all.
I mean, anybody like Nicki Minaj is a queen.
Yeah, everybody's a queen.
Anybody's a queen. Okay, well, I don't want to be. I'm not that kind of girl. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm that kind of girl. So don't put me in the same. Don't lump me. So this is why I don't like stuff like that, because I feel like when people start to lump you all as one, you know what I mean? Black people are not all the same. Like I keep saying that, and I do think that when we do stuff like this, it makes people think that we are all the same. And I'm not into it.
I feel like it makes us real predictable too, because even like I thought about this too when we got the question, that video on this whole king and queen thing. It's like even companies like Head and Shoulders, for instance, and let me just say this: the conditioner itself is really good,
right?
All right, but it's their black line of Head and Shoulders, right? So it's just like a high moisture type thing, right? Which is what all those black lines are. It's more moisture in it. So they call it Royal Oils conditioner. Right, so they knew. Even the companies know. Oh well, you know what? They like to be looked at as like this, kings and queens. So let's make sure we put a spin on it and put royal. You know what I mean? They know. It's like to the point now where it's just so commercialized. Yeah. No,
I mean Kanye West called Kim Kardashian a queen once, and everybody got really mad. Yeah, because he was like, she makes black food and she makes black children. And he was saying that, and then all these people got on him. I'm like, well, maybe to him, she is.
But I mean,
I'm just trying
the standard of queens is dead these days.
Well, one day when I was on Facebook, I put up a photo. I just put up a picture. It was a long time. It was probably a couple years ago. Yeah. I put up a new profile picture, and I had men who were on my page and say, pretty picture and all that. I was like, thank you. And then some guy wrote, man, is it beautiful? He's a beautiful queen. And so I, said king back to him, because I was like, I guess, okay, thank you, king.
You said king.
I just like, okay, king. So the guy that said something nice before him jumped to the next post and said, I'm a king too.
What?
He said that. And I said, okay, well, I'm sorry, king. I didn't notice it, but see, people take this stuff for real.
Like, now men are getting into it.
But this was a couple years ago. I was kind of shocked that he said that. Like, he got offended that I called him king, but then not him, and then maybe a few other guys. I only called him king because he called me queen. And it was really, I was actually joking.
Yeah, you're sarcastic.
Like, I was being sarcastic with it. You know what I mean? But he really got, upset. So to some people, this is something that feels good.
They does. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's like, oh, hold your crown up, queen. And people, I'm making little kings. I'm making,
God.
Oh my God,
those stupid shirts where it says king, queen, and prince.
Oh, when I see that shirt,
you know what I mean?
When I see that, I'm like, Yeah, and I know most people. We have a lot of black. Obviously, we have a lot of black subscribers. So I know a lot of people use this. So I really am hoping I'm not offending you, but this is truly how I feel. I just think it's cringe.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to be honest. Like, I really think it's very cringy. But I know a lot of people use it, and I know it's just a term of endearment. But it's just really a weird thing where we already. It's like we have this. It's we think too far into a fantasy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's too much offense. We're already having the black community is already having a ton of problems.
We don't ever want to talk about real problems in the community.
I know.
We always want to gloss over everything. We want to talk about racism and kings and queens. But we never want to talk about what's really going on. We always like to just shellac it with something, pretty and sweet. And we don't have to really talk about ourselves.
Cute and badass.
And I know that the only reason that we're really doing this, if anybody was really honest about why we call ourselves that, is because we don't feel that good about ourselves.
Yeah.
We went to an extreme.
Right.
You're not just a good person. You're a queen. You're not just a great man, you're a king. You have to say that, that's what I'm saying. We don't have to go to such extremes to fill the void of self-esteem. Like, I don't feel like you need to call me that. But I can see, like, a lot of guys, when they have said that to me, they think that they're helping you.
Yeah.
You can tell when they say that, they think that they're, like, giving you a shot of self-esteem.
Yeah.
And it's really just cringy. But look, I'm by myself on this. I mean, I know a lot more women like this than I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, look, if you're a guy saying it, keep doing it, because most women do like it. It's just saying that when it's with me, I just find things fake and cringy, and that's just one of them for me.
That's another thing is that I really do just like I feel like we're the same on this, where I just like for things to be really real. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to spin on everything. I don't need a spin on, words like that. Like I just don't need it. I just feel like it's just not serving any real purpose.
Yeah. And we're always trying to find, that's the thing, like black people are always trying to find where we're our powerful spaces.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do that. We've invented so many things in this country that we don't have to do that. You know what I mean? It's just that we just don't highlight. We feel like we have to go all the way back to Africa to find where we're special. You can you can just go back a few years.
Yeah.
Actually, not even.
Not even.
You know what I mean? There's still great people inventing and making. The man who made the Super Soaker, you know that thing? That was a black man.
It's a black man.
You know what I mean? These are things like that are mainstream that really change things. You know what I mean? And black people have created and done so much in this country. Mm-hmm. Just things we use every day that we don't think about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But we don't need a king.
We don't need that other stuff to feel special.
But for some reason, but see, this goes to your point before that I feel like whenever you have to self-proclaim something, whenever I feel like there are some things where your presence will just exude something. You don't even have to say it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is like, and when someone walks into a room and they are of, I don't know, when people have a quality about them, where it's upstanding, you kind of notice it and you don't have to know them. Mm-hmm. They walk into a room, you don't feel it's not arrogance. It's just kind of like a presence of this person seems real and, whatever. This person that type of person does not need an extra spin on words for you to, So I always feel like when people have to self-proclaim a name, I feel that they feel the opposite, which is to your point, that they don't feel good about themselves, so they say
they're really extreme. I think other races of people are very connected to their race, I think so even when they're American. Like that's true. Like Chinese people are very, they know their language, and they know English, but they're also very connected to all their holidays. Mm-hmm. They're very connected to their religious beliefs. They're very connected to their culture. Even though they live in America, they still stay connected to that. And that's the same with Africans when they come here. They stay very connected to their culture. The same with Italians. They all stay very close. So they don't feel insecure in who they are. But Black Americans, I wish we did feel more. I wish we would feel a lot better about who we were and it to be okay. Yeah. But I think it's that we really don't know. It seems like we really lose a lot of ourselves. And so we try to substitute it with little things.
And I think some of those little things are fantasy. Mm-hmm. Like this is my thing, the slippery slope. When you start calling yourself stuff like that, and I know it seems kind of like I'm reaching a little bit. And I may be, I don't know, but I just seem sometimes like we're already living this weird fantasy. Like we're trying to be, when you fantasize too much, you know, you never get anything done. You don't tell the truth about life and real things, right? So when you're calling yourself something that you're not, it's like this weird little bubble of fantasy. Oh, well, I'm a queen. You know, I mean, but what's really going on? I like to talk to someone in a real way. I don't like when I'm talking to someone and they have all these different like phrases and, you know, what's that, diva and black girls rock, all these little catchphrases, hashtag this, you know, I'm like, can we just have a conversation as people?
Well, I mean, it's just like,
you know
it's just like that video you
that.
were watching. The black guy that you were talking about in that video, he's part of Blexit. He's like a hip hop guy with a hat.
Oh, you saw the video? Oh,
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay.
He's got like tattoos all over him. He's part of Candace Owens' Blexit. Okay. And when he did that video with that panel of black people, that girl, he even mentioned the word diva. That's why it made me think about it. Okay. He mentioned the word diva. He's just like women walk around calling themselves diva, not because they're Shaka Khan and they did some work or something to be called diva, just because they got an attitude.
Right. I'm diva.
They tell little 3-year-olds, oh, she's a diva because she got a little attitude. And those aren't things that are impressive. No. Those are just annoying. You know what I mean?
And it's egotistical, and it raises your children to be just like you.
And I love being black. You know what I mean? I love my race. I love, you know, the way I was raised. Yeah. We cook differently. You know what I mean? And we do have things that are different than other Americans.
It's a culture.
All Americans do. All Americans have different ways of doing things within their culture and what they are. But I think it's because I like being black. But and I feel like I love that a lot of that my people were Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman. So that's enough for me. Yeah. Because I feel like I love that, you know, that even though I don't agree with her all the time, that Oprah's a billionaire. Yeah. I love that Barack Obama, which I don't agree with all the time. I'm glad that he's the first black president. I mean, those are newer people. Yeah. But I'm talking about even before them. You know what I mean? Even though
I'm already proud to be black.
Exactly. Muhammad Ali. We have a lot to be proud of. But for some reason, we don't see it or feel it. And we feel like we have to be like babied and be, you know, like sort of like we need people to make us feel good about ourselves. And it's just like that's never going to happen. No one can ever tell you that you're good enough. You have to just feel good enough, which means you have to actively be doing good things in your life. Right. And there's no one can just give you that. Right. And if there's stuff that you don't like about your life, which, you know, let me tell you, there are things I've done in my life that I'm not proud of. I think we all have. But you forgive yourself, and then you move on, and you know better, you do better. You know what I mean? But as far as my esteem, it's not wrapped up in me just being black either. I'm also, you know, a child of God. I mean, you know, there are other things that'll make you special. Right. But I do think that we hang on to these little taglines because some part of our race just doesn't feel seen. Yes. Or doesn't feel heard.
It's like we want to be, it's like I was saying before in a few videos that we always have this thing where we want to be separate.
Because that video that you were showing with that looks like maybe Indian guy, Pakistan. He was like, black women are calling themselves queens. And he's saying that sarcastically because to other races that probably sounds silly.
Seems ridiculous.
When we all are American and we don't have
a monarch.
We don't have a monarch in America.
The interesting thing to watch other people, other races look at us when we call ourselves that and be like, this is weird. They say it's weird that we do that. And I think it's a little strange. Yeah. Especially people who are serious about it. You know what I mean? They done everything as queen.
And also it's just like, I mean, like, there are a lot of black rappers out here that call women queen all the time. When they go on their videos, they call women bitches. Yeah. You know what I mean? So bitches and hoes.
He's not a king.
Same men will turn around and call you a queen.
And call themselves a king.
The same girl, they will call her a queen because they just feel like that's just something to say to black women. But also, black women are bitches and hoes. Yeah. So. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just like, stop with the words. Just stop calling us names. Yeah. Period. Judge me by my character. Yeah. Don't judge me by my skin color. Yeah.
I like real life.
And that guy that was on that video that you were talking about, what he was trying to say is that I don't know you. So to me, she was telling her she wasn't a queen, not because some man won't see her that way, but I'm not calling you a queen because you're not a part of my life. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. You may not be doing queen-like things. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the Blexit guy, yeah. And then he was just like the same thing with men, though. Don't be calling all men kings. No. Some of them aren't doing king-like things. And he was just like, but he was fine with it as long as he felt like, I guess he knew you. and you had a reason for him to call you that. But I'm just to the point where I don't really need any of that. I think that it's just nonsense.
I do too. And I'm kind of uncomfortable with it.
Right.
I'm Danielle, and I like who I am, and I'm sure they would argue that we do too. That's why we're calling ourselves queens. I'm just thinking, but why do you need to have a a thing? You have to have a word, okay? But I mean, I guess if you need a word, you need a word. But it's I guess the question that was asked was what we think about. Because I feel that it's cringy.
Yeah. No, I don't like it. You know.
I mean, I like to keep it completely honest. Like, I just think that's kind of cringy.
I mean, I'd rather be called a queen than a bitch, if that's what you mean.
Right.
But I just think judge me by my character. But also, you don't have to. My name is Kara.
I think stuff like this still separates you from yourself.
If you don't know me, it's ma'am.
Yeah. Don't you think that sometimes it separates you from yourself when you start doing stuff like this? It's like you're doing like an alter ego.
Yeah.
Like it's a separate. It's kind of egotistical because I'm a queen. Like, there's something about it just very. And this is how we create narcissists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, narcissists can create it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like Cardi B, they all call themselves queen while they twerk and G-strings.
They're not doing queen behavior.
I never seen Queen Elizabeth do that. I never seen anybody that's got royalty
ever
doing anything like that. You know what I mean?
But our culture,
but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just if you're black.
Anything goes. You're black, then you're a queen. It's like, really? Let's just say that I was okay with the word queen. Let's say that I was perfectly fine with that. Let's just say I loved it. I would still feel like there are only select few people that can be called that.
Well, I mean, I feel I feel the same way about women who get called wife and they're not married to the man.
That's cringe.
Like, why would you?
That's cringe.
That would almost make me mad if this guy was with me and he's sitting there calling me his wife and he just don't want to marry me. You know what I mean? Right. But there are women that have been in relationships with men for 2 or 3 years and want to get married. The man hasn't asked him, but he's walking around calling her wife.
Yeah.
And she's like, "This is my husband." No, it's not.
I don't like terms
that aren't me.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
I don't like referencing myself with a term that is not literally not real.
Or
that's not real for me.
Remember when black people back in the day, this is my play cousin. It's not your cousin.
Oh God,
this is my play sister, not your sister.
My play aunt.
You know what I mean? Just
we just talked about this not too long ago.
It's so annoying.
So we have somebody that we work with that calls her. It has a play aunt. You know, black people. You know how we do. We do a play aunt thing, right, or whatever. And I'm like, why are we doing that? Like, Kara's my sister. I don't have a play sister anywhere else. You are my blood sister.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. I guess I'm just a realist in that when it comes to stuff like that. I don't like extra terms to be added. I just think that it's not, for most people it's a term of endearment. To me, I just feel like, I'm Danielle. I'm Danielle, and I like who I am. So
look, I know there are a lot of women that don't feel good about themselves, and so maybe if you call her a guy and you call her a queen, that might make her feel good for the day.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just saying. It's just, to me, it's just a cringy thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just
Agreed.
like, stop with it. It's just not my thing.
Okay, so that answers that question. Let us know what you think down below. Do you guys call yourself kings and queens? Do you refer to people as that? Is it cringy to you too, or just to us? Because we might stand alone on this one. This goes up on Wednesday, so happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. All right, kings and queens. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Everybody have a really good day. Bye.